just wanna be her. For your mom to your pop to the beat to the bird, man. Cut right off on the curb, like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like what? And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like what? Whole squad like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. You don't want problems. You don't want smoke, no. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, no. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. I've been so my frustration, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Go, go. Let's go. Here we go, D. Get off the field.
First down, Brissett. And his first pass is incomplete. James Washington was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
The first carry now for Benny Snell. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still second down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
The ball gets bumped up. It's now 2nd and 4 after the penalty. Brissett now. And his throw here's incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. And it's 3rd and 4. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. A first carry down for Kareem Hunt. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Sean Davis that time on the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. 3rd down here. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
On 2nd down now. It's Hunt, and he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game, and I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains, didn't force the ball downfield, picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 37.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Mayfield on 1st down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. A gain of 4 on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. From from the shotgun. It's Mayfield. It's caught. Beckham. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that could be pinpoint here.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Kareem Hunt. His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Hauschka with the extra point. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Ryan Switzer, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up second down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. On second down, it's Snell. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches, there's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't met an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win, and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission. That's their challenge. And you know they've chosen.
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. The number 1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
On second down, Snell. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That'll back them up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And this certainly confirms all the chatter, how big of a final weekend this is. For the moment, the 6th seed is theirs, but it'll take a victory to officially lock that down.
I hear the excitement in your voice about this.
A little nervousness, both ways.
Either way, but you know, I've never met a player who didn't go into a game with a little bit of nervousness and didn't play well. Because, look, if you go in without that edge, and to this game has an edge to it, doesn't it? Then you're really not going to perform that well.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wondered, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
Alert, 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 alert.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. That one is caught by Hunt. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On 2nd down now, Snell. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Browns drive about to get started. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Regular. Let's go.
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. And he gets it to Funchess, complete. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Let's go.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Mayfield able to get this one to his tight end, Njoku. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Throwing. Mayfield gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. Now it's Miller. Takes to midfield, but no further, just a yard there. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Hey, alert, 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 alert. I got it.
Mayfield now from the 50. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Starting the drive with Snell. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
A quick throw complete to Washington. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. A defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain. Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot. I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now. They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. And he's got some space here. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Kareem Hunt with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. Well, if the plan is to come in here and go toe-to-toe with these guys, it certainly does not hurt if you hit them with a big shot along the way, too. That's got to give them some confidence. And the other thing right now, it quiets this crowd, at least for the time being. Yeah, that is what is called the intended consequence of their actions. So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January. And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups. Brissett sets to throw it. I would say it would probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths.
but I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Trying to lay one up deep, and that's caught inside the 35. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Here's Brissett. And his throw's going to be incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. They try the 50-yarder and miss it, and now this offense has it 1st and 10 at the 40. Now it's Hunt. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll run. This is Hunt. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Snell on 3rd down. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Butt set. I'm coming for you, guys.
Mayfield looks to throw. He's got the first down and more past midfield. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure.
Odell Beckham Jr. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Hauschka adds the extra point. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense has done a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. Complete to Washington. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
You got nothing.
From the gun, here's Brissett. And his throw is incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Brissett, Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And it'll bring up 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll throw again. Brissett. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Boswell's kick is good. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coach is always talking about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
On 2nd down, Mayfield again. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Five.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
James Washington making his way back out towards the huddle. Unless he has a Julio Jones-type 300-yard game in him that Julio did against the Panthers in 2016, probably not going to reach 1,000, but still pretty good year.
I think you're right. It's a pretty good year for him, but let's face it, every receiver's dream is to have a game like Julio Jones had against the Carolina Panthers. It's 300 yards on the nose.
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway.
Let's go!
Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mayfield, and he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining.
Hurry, hurry!
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Got some good blocking, too. Helped him pick up the first. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Watch the screen. Pass.
From the red zone now, Mayfield. Escaping the pressure right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Go.
Play fake. Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, that takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
3rd and long for Mayfield. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half. just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. From 4 yards out. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
On second down, Snell. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A strong running. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're open.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Check, 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 check. Alert, 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 alert. One touch.
Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Smooth. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he completes it to Hunt. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards. Mayfield now, perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Mayfield down. He's got Njoku, his big tight end.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first. And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Here's Mayfield. That one is caught by Hunt. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 31-yard line. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 31. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw, and they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Bud Dupree make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Mayfield leaves it for Hunt on the draw. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. This is caught, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Isaiah McKenzie, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Hauschka with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
Let's go!
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
On 2nd down now. Snell, he takes this for 3 to the 29.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down, then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Is that not the very definition of a tough yard gained?
Now, is that one where as the receiver you go to your quarterback and say, why'd you even throw that?
Yeah, I think you do, and I think you wonder what type of a route are you going to send me on that only 1 yard's going to be the result? If I'm going to go in there and take contact, let's go and get something out of it, not just 1 yard.
Ready, set.
The Browns drive about to get started. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back.
Better bring 61. Max, let's go.
On 3rd down, Bernard. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Here's Bernard. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Now it's the backup Tannehill, and that is incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. On 1st and 10, Brissett. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game. They've done a great job of doing that.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. To throw, Brissett. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've been stymied left and right. Converted only 1 time. This is 3rd and 4. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So a change of possession here on the punt. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Bud Dupree in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now a carry for Bernard. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
That's it, baby. That's it. That's it. Big hit.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. To throw is Tannehill. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the 1st down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
18
Tannehill. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 34-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Let's go one more. Check it back.
On second down, Bernard. And he'll go down at the 28. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. They'll run again with Bernard. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. With 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here 1st and 10.
Ready. 50, plant. 2 times. Even. 4 down. Even.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. And they take a knee. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Browns, the win means they'll finish in double digits at 10-6. And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better than average season nonetheless. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they wanted desperately to finish at 500, but that won't happen, as it'll be a 7-9 season in the end. And they can take solace in the fact that this team never quit all the way to the end. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.